Hi-yo, Neil Griffith here. I managed to lose some weight recently. I've been going to the gym regularly, and now I can wear a new shirt. What do you think? No one's going to be offended by this. I hope. I would like to wear a shirt covered in naked ladies just to piss people off right now, but the truth be told, I don't like to wear fancy shirts that have a lot of, print and heavy ink on them. I don't think they're very comfortable. I wish I made this video about Shirtgate a bit earlier because I predicted where it was headed and I wanted to make that prediction. It probably has already happened somewhere, but if I'm lucky it hasn't, so you heard it here first. Whenever you have outrage over something like the shirt that Dr. Matt Taylor was wearing, in order to justify the criticism, critics have to play it up as much as possible. It's not just a shirt with sexy women on it. It's a knife plunged into the heart of women who want to be scientists everywhere, and it's destroying all hope of having an equal world for women. And a few feminists, a few, dogpiled under Dr. Matt Taylor until he made a tearful repent, which only seemed to piss even more people off. I know where this is headed because I have seen this sort of thing before. It was very brief and stupid, and it played itself as quickly as this controversy will be playing itself out. I was a student in an art college that I'm not going to name. That art college had life drawings that involved many nudes. Since they were nude drawings of people everywhere, a lot of students assumed, myself included, that, well, maybe we can also put up some sexy pinups around our workplace as well, because if people are not going to object to, nude life drawings, why would they object to sexy pinups where some people, women, have clothes on? Well, silly us, people objected and they wound up getting banned. But I figured, it's their workplace, their rules, whatever. Then things got retarded. Only images of sexy female pinups were banned. Sexy pinups featuring men specifically were allowed to stay. The reasoning behind it is that women feel threatened by sexy images of women. Men are not threatened by sexual images of men, so sexual images of men would be allowed to stay. Of course, women respond to this by plastering banana boat pin-up men all over the place just to rub our noses in it. Well, I said this is bullshit. Women are going to pin up sexy pin-ups of men everywhere. I'm going to leave my pin-ups up of sexy women in my work spot. The criticism I got did not come from the faculty or women. Surprisingly, it came from men. Thank God. Made life a lot easier for me. I could punch a man in the mouth. That's my double standard. Since the men feared me, they vandalized my desk when I wasn't around. They left a bunch of anonymous notes all over the place trying to criticize me as much as they could. Cowardly, meaningless, bullshit, very weak in the sauce kind of response. Now, when I say that men vandalized my desk and left anonymous notes criticizing me as harshly as they could, am I saying that I'm a victim? No, I'm not a victim. I tend to thrive under such criticism. I'm not a precious, delicate little flower that withers and dies all because someone has wronged me. I have coping skills. Strong coping skills, and because of my experience, my coping skills were actually made a little stronger. Vandalize my desk, I'll fix it. Leave anonymous notes criticizing me, I'll just throw them in the trash without even reading them. Confront me to my face. I'm sorry, I never had that luxury. I stood my ground, eventually my argument won. All the sexy male pinups got banned. If one gets banned, both get banned. If one is allowed, then both are allowed. Pretty simple concept of fairness, but it's amazing how many people just don't grasp it. And this is what's going to happen with Dr. Taylor's shirt. Someone somewhere is going to find a blatant example of a double standard from the extreme feminists, like a feminist bearing their breasts in a protest with signs saying, "Don't tell me what to wear," or something else even more blatant, like a famous woman wearing a male pin-up version of Dr. Taylor's shirt in a similar workplace, and some feminists going right on sister, exposing what a lot of horseshit it was for people to come down on Dr. Taylor in the first place. It sounds far-fetched right now, but trust me, it will happen. It has to. I don't see anything wrong with Dr. Taylor's attire other than maybe the ESU might want to tweak their casual Fridays a little bit. But you know what? I don't work for the ESU, and I don't run the ESU, and I think it's pretty damn arrogant for a bunch of outsiders to try to determine what the dress code is for a place that they have nothing to do with. If you're trying to come up with a general standard for how men should dress in such an environment, it sounds like you're either coming up with a rule which is unworkable or a law which is going to piss me off. If you remember, there was a time when there was a standard dress code for such a work environment. It was followed by men everywhere. Men all dressed exactly the same way in the same office attire. And if you remember, that particular era was not friendly towards creative, free-thinking people or women. Maybe we should be a bit more grateful things have loosened up a bit. Because if we're all going to act like a bunch of precious, delicate little flowers with no coping skills that can be critically injured by the slightest of slights, the outcome of that cannot possibly be a world that embraces equality, if that's what you're really after.